Welcome to Social Aloe Ministries, where we are committed to glorifying God while exposing the devil. In the previous video, I mentioned about our calling from the Lord. If you have been called by the Lord, you may not have received a title. You may have looked in Ephesians 4:11, wondering which one of those applies to you. Are you an apostle, a prophet, a pastor, an evangelist, or a teacher? It is not as important as you think. Jesus said, "Many are called, but few are chosen." It is great if you have a calling. One of the most important things about having a calling is about maintaining a relationship with the Lord, not your title. In Jeremiah chapter 1 and the 5th verse is very popular, where it speaks about the Lord calling Jeremiah, and he told him that he had ordained him as a prophet to the nations. In verse 17, the Lord commands Jeremiah to speak the words that he tells him to speak. So Jeremiah knew the day that he was called that the Lord is calling him to be a prophet. On the other hand, Samuel the seer in 1 Samuel 3, the Lord called Samuel as a young man, gave him a prophecy, but didn't tell him what his title was. However, in verse 19 through 20 of 1 Samuel 3, it states, "And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him." And this part here is very important, especially for those who are prophets. "And did not let none of his words fall to the ground." That is actually a standard. None of his words fell to the ground. "And all of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord." And that's one of the things why your title is not so important. When the Lord calls you and he puts you through the process and actually sends you out into ministry, people will start knowing what your calling is, sometimes before you even meet. You remember the story of Jesus speaking to the Samaritan woman at the well? And during the conversation, she discerned that he was a prophet. Jesus didn't have to say anything. One of the most important things, again, your relationship with the Lord as opposed to your title. And it continues. An example of why a title should not be your focus. King Saul, being a king, was a high title. And when you turn to 1 Samuel 13, in the first verse, it talks about how long King Saul had been in power. 2 years. 2 short years. Again, many are called, but few are chosen. And after those 2 years, look in the 13th through the 14th verse, this is what happened. "And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever." Within 2 years, King Saul had messed up. Now, he would keep reigning, but he was like a king without a throne. And it continues, "But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, to be king over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee." Also, one of the things to remember about having a title is that basically the higher your title is, the higher the expectations. And one mistake, one seemingly small mistake, can cost you. And you can consider this like a trivia question as far as why Moses was not allowed to enter into the promised land. It may seem trivial, but his relationship with the Lord was such that he should have not let the people get him frustrated. And it goes back to what I said in the previous video about why character is so important. So again, many are called, few are chosen. Most important thing is your relationship with the Lord. not your title. God bless you.